let's start with Big Philly. How did we feel about Phil Spencer's interview with IGN and some of the things that he was saying?
I say it's corporate politics. Um, you gotta yeah, it's very difficult to navigate at times, but
Hmm.
overall, like it still doesn't get him off the hook, in my opinion, because I do feel like this gaming community, we still do have great memories, and then one thing you got to realize, these are still promises not delivered as of yet. These are still things
Hmm.
that are still in development. So yes, you showed us a flashy trailer, but we've learned this lesson multiple times. Unless that game is downloaded on my system right now,
Right.
you did not
Until it says
deliver.
available now.
You did not deliver anything. So everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. Everything.
Okay.
And you also got to really think about we've spoken about this before, the working conditions of these companies, bro, because you could wake up tomorrow and you get that notification on your phone, oh, the lead game designer has left the building.
Mm. Hmm. Hmm.
So these are all, there's multiple factors here at play, man. But like I said, it was corporate politics. He had to deliver, to give some faith to the people. But overall, you as a consumer, you got to be smart about it. You got to be very watchful. You got to be very vigilant. And just like how these games are investments, you got to keep on top of it. You got to read the forums and really know what is happening to the state of your investment.
Hmm. Okay. Joy, what about you? What are some of your initial thoughts about what Phil Spencer had to say?
I was a little bit I wanted him to go into depth, just say, why those studios closed, but back to Tim's point. He avoided questions. He didn't answer directly, but he at the same time, talking to a buddy of mine, he pointed out that he also shut down any speculation. So, for example, like the situation with certain games going into PlayStation, but I'm like, okay, him purchasing Blizzard, not for a second, I didn't think he was gonna make Call of Duty go exclusive. It
Right.
just doesn't make any sense, right?
Right. It would be
It's on
foolish.
mobile already. It's on
Hmm.
mobile already. You already have a network of pool. Why would you close that pool? It's a business's like Minecraft, right? Minecraft is you can get Minecraft on the PlayStation. Me as a business owner, why would I just cut off a bunch of gamers that like the product just for exclusivity, right? Not everybody's gonna buy Minecraft on Xbox, right? But
Right.
I'll have a greater pool if I keep those things open. Sea of Thieves going to PlayStation didn't bother me, right? Because I'm like, Sea of Thieves is the type of game you would want to be on all platforms. I just
Right.
feel those games are you're. It's more like a Monster Hunter game. Monster Hunter game being, even though that's not an Xbox exclusive, it benefits to have crossplay. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
why would you want these groups of people to be separated? You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Right.
for me, I think that's a plus as far as thinking about the consumer. I'm like, yo, we're just gonna make it. You're gonna have to get our system. Those pools are already too wide. That's why you would make a purchase like that. You purchase it to keep the pool wide, right? So then
Right.
those can fund what you want to build exclusively, right? I think that's cool. Like MLB The Show is on both on PlayStation and now it's on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
That's due because that was mainly because the MLB people were like, listen, we're not gonna just funnel just the one. We're not gonna have one canal open. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So hey, Sony, we're gonna put it here. So that was a more of a forcible play. But I think those things like that makes sense. Something like Grounded. Those games are kind of like ecosystem based games from the way they're almost constructed. But like Doom being on, Doom was already on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an exclusive like that. So why would I all of a sudden just do that? Right? You would I felt like you would do more harm than good, right? Versus
Well, I
yeah,
agree with you, right? I
yeah.
think what you said about the things on multi-platform was good. I think that, again, I think there's a lot of ways in which Phil Spencer shows himself as a very competent overhead, right? In terms of things that he's willing to let go for the greater health of like the Xbox ecosystem. I think for me, the three things that stood out was one, did you guys believe that he has as much freedom over Xbox the way he said he did when they asked him about that in an interview? The second thing I wanted to know is what your guys' thoughts about the way he kind of uh, took ownership of like the closing of those three studios was more of a me decision, a hard business decision that I had to make as the owner of this company. And what did you guys feel about like how he kind of hinted ever so slightly about the Xbox handheld rumors? Like, what was your guys' thoughts on that? Because I was more
Um,
surprised that he even came out to say all these things as confidently as he did, given everything that was going on.
with the again, I don't know. I think okay, with those studios closing, I think it was mainly because they did not have the funds to keep them open in the sense of they didn't reach a threshold they probably wanted, and because they probably borrowed money from Microsoft to do said things, and they didn't reach the margins. That was a probably part of the deal.
Hmm.
Very odd, right? Very odd choices, but at the same time, maybe he kind of closed these studios down. Um, he probably here's what I'm anticipating. There's a thing where companies they will fire you only to hire you back again in a strange way. I don't know what the term is for it, but I suspect that's what's going on because this isn't the first time.
Downsizing, cutting of budgets and payroll. But keep going.
Yeah, yeah. This is because
Usually not good.
I think Whole Foods did it a couple of times to where they would cut somebody like, "Hey, listen, we don't have enough room for you. We'll let you go," and then they'll call this person right back, and they'll be that within 3, 4, 5 months. I will suspect that they probably gave him an email. Hey guys, apply to this position, and most likely you'll get it. Right? Let's just hypothetically. I don't know.
Hmm.
Him saying that he had to close down those studios. Somewhat, I kind of somewhat believe him, and I kind of somewhat don't. All because they just fought so well. They came with the acquisition. It's not like they bought specifically. They came with the Activision deal.
Hmm.
So maybe there were things already in plan that he already had in mind that he was already willing to do in case the worst case scenario comes up that they don't reach the margins that they were expecting to after making the purchase as quick as they'd wanted to.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe he already had that in mind. Okay, listen, I gotta make this money. If Game Pass does not make the money, or the purchase doesn't make the money, or even makes the money at the time that we need to, then this is what's gonna take place. Him hinting the handheld, it was kind of obvious, right? Sarah Bond already kind of said that we have technology that we haven't even seen before. They recently just purchased ChatGPT, codename
Hmm.
now Pilot. So I him having control as much as we thought he does, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of inner turmoil at Microsoft. I do believe Phil is a competent businessman, and he's trying to figure out a way to where everybody wins, but in the sense that he can please Microsoft and that he can also get his vision across. So there's probably some compromises along the way,
Hmm.
and those were one of the compromises to where he can say, "Hey, see, guys, look, these are the games we're gonna focus on." Only for him to kind of like while they're distracted, he's gonna build this on the side to where it gets fruition going. He has his own engine revving up to, hey, listen, I built this engine better than what you guys were saying. Let me take it away from here. That's just what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what I see because I don't believe they have enough foresight to see even him convincing them to, hey, listen, guys, join each other. Let's make Game Pass. Them believing in Game Pass is also kind of odd, right? What Game Pass exists and it's actually been here for a while, and it seems to be very promising now, right? Side note: Dragon Ball Z $70 game, Sparking Zero. That's yeah. Hey, listen, you can pay whatever you want to pay, or you could get it on Game Pass. for a
Hmm.
subscription. And if you do, when you do have the money, you can finally make that purchase and it won't hurt you as much. You know?
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's
Same, let
that.
me get
You
your
know,
thoughts first for
yeah, that's
I'll,
what I'm saying.
yeah, what do you think?
I think it's a mix. I do feel like the bring back to Jory's point. I do feel like some of the studios they didn't reach a certain mark, or maybe that they also didn't really have something substantial in development that they wanted to futurely invest even more into it. Because like I said, man, we got to really use that word a bit more now. It's an investment now. Like they use these game products as like, well, how is this? What is the return value to us for what we put out? And I feel like maybe those studios just didn't reach a certain level of trust, or maybe like, because it's a system, bro. It goes from ideas to pitches to pre-development art to maybe minor trailers and stuff like that of the current engine and things of that nature. And if these investors say like, hey, yeah, no, then yeah, you're gonna get cut. And I did feel like it was unfortunate though, because especially during that I would say that dark moment where everybody was just getting purchased left and right. Because I mean, yes,
Hmm.
I do feel like exclusivity it adds a sense of flair to it, and there's a healthy way to do it. Um, like for example, PlayStation. I see a lot of legacy studios. Like they know these are studios that we've worked with since the beginning, and we have such a rich relationship with them that if you think of these games, you think of your PS2 controller or PlayStation One
Hmm.
and PS2 controller.
Mm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
it makes sense. But then there was but now but then there were some studios where it was like they belong to third parties, because now I just feel like, all right, well now it's just Capcom, Ubisoft, Square Enix,
Third party company,
Square Enix, but then
third party company.
but it's just like it just kind of feels like something was removed, man, and you got to be very very scary of that particular space just getting consumed, because it kind of I
Hmm.
feel like it makes too much changes to the ecosystem. But to get back on point, that's how I just feel about them. It was very unfortunate, man. I mean, I don't like nobody losing their jobs like that, especially after all the announcements that was made to acquire them. I just kind of feel like, well,
Right.
like it's like a life shortened. And
Right.
yeah,
Right.
hopefully, they do get hired. I would have felt more confidence if those resources, and when I say people, because person is a resource, that they were shifted to other studios.
Mm.
Give me
Mm.
an all
Yeah.
right. If you want to close this one, fine. But then if we want to increase our workforce and to sharpen the efficiency of the other products that we got going on now, we will find you another place on this side. I would have been fine with that.
Okay. I think that would have been a healthier compromise than, hey, everyone's getting a severance. Because he said himself, like, they're getting severance packages. I'm like, oh, so people got fired for real, for real. Like, y'all didn't get reabsorbed, y'all didn't get reassigned, like, people got let go. And I think to to your guys' points, I think it's true. I think we're seeing the cold hard truth of, like you said, Tim, investments, like you said, Jory, like there's a certain business expectation that's set that has to be met no matter what. I think the unfortunate thing on two sides, obviously besides the people losing their jobs, is one, to what you said earlier, Tim, about like you think of a legacy studio, you think of a game, you remember and associate it with a certain controller or a certain system. I'm like, Xbox has been kind of scrambling for a new IP for this generation. So it's like you have a success, you have your own original IP in Hi-Fi Rush. You have something that will forever be associated with the Xbox Series X, and you shut it down. There is no Hi-Fi Rush 2 on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, it will be associated in that way as like a one and done because of you, right? Again, might have been a tough business decision, but I'm like, a lot of the things that we're about to get into when it comes to game announcements for Xbox are all legacy titles. It's a sequel to this. It's a prequel to that. It's all these IPs that we've already associated Xbox with. from previous generations ago. So to me, it's like your first real win on this console cycle, and the IP is terminated. And then two, it kind of just feels like, is this the beginning of the Phil Spencer distancing arc? And when I say that, I mean like, again, he's always had the reputation of kind of being 10 toes on the ground. I'm more like, hey, I'm a game CEO that games as well. And now it's like, well, I had to make these hard decisions and I had to do what's best for the company. It starts to feel like, is this where that disassociation begins of like, we get to see more and more of Phil the CEO and less of Phil like the relatable gamer that wants Xbox to have great games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of felt that way to me. As far as like, I don't see how this is. Again, I was just more surprised. Like, how do you come out here looking as confident as you did, off the strength of what's been happening with y'all the past couple of weeks? How does Sarah Bond come out with a little short announcement of like, hey guys, this fall we are announcing Xbox all digital everything in all white. That's right. Xbox One, Xbox Series X with a 2 terabyte internal system with no space for a physical disc. Doubling down on some of the rumors and some of the fears that people had about, Xbox getting to the cloud space. There's certain things where it's like the handheld would have kind of offset some of that announcement to me, as opposed to like, hey, all those things you guys worried about us going cloud, it's coming.
They
It's coming.
they have two digital systems, and the terabyte one has a disk slot.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah, it does. I looked
I
at it.
feel like it
No, no,
wasn't
yeah, yeah,
okay. Because
yeah.
like I thought the 2 terabyte one was a diskless one as well.
No, it has a disk slot. I looked at it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Galaxy.
Okay. I
Yeah,
stand corrected.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it does, you know what I'm saying? Like versus with Sony where it's like, yeah, we have a digital version, but you can still buy this admittedly overpriced external add-on for a physical disc.
Yeah, yeah, that's wild. But no, yeah, there's the white one, which looks nice by the way.
It does.
It,
It's a great.
it's
The design on it looks a lot better for
yeah,
sure.
which is beautiful by the way. But the Series X, the Galaxy one is has
Still
a
a disc.
disc.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was just how I felt about it. I wanted to kind of get your guys' thought. I just thought it was, again, I always commend Phil for coming out and putting, a face to and at least answering to some degree some of these questions. But it did just kind of feel like, what are you celebrating, sir? Like, some families are gonna have a really rough summer and rough fall and rough Christmas because of your hard decisions that you had to make. So it's just like it felt a little like, all right, this is the corporate speak. This is the villain arc, so to speak, of the disconnect.